Open Topics with Don Armando. Good evening. I'm your host, Don Armando with Open Topics. So tonight, we're just talking about haters in these YouTube streets and the ones that are actually taking it to a creepy atmosphere. So, as you know, last year I got doxxed by a known creep who I'm failed to mention because that person or entity would not be mentioned on my channel. Because let's put it let's put it for real. If you're a creep, you don't like my content, or you don't like the people that I hang with, let- and you want to go around and say my real name and everything like that, you're not going to be promoted on my page because you're nothing to me. And that's how I'm going to keep it. With that said, I know that certain content creators here on YouTube have been doxxed or their family harassed, maybe because of their political beliefs, maybe on what they stand for, or maybe it's just pure jealousy. So tonight, I'm just going to talk about how you can handle these haters. How can you protect yourself or your family and your friends also during these trying times? And also, what can you do so therefore you could always have a level head in a dire situation? Number one, if a person who doxes you claims to be an alpha male, 9 times out of 10, they're not. Because the alpha males that I know, they don't go around and dox people. They'll actually say something to your face. And if you have a personal problem with that person, they'll actually go and meet you. Number two, if you're getting into a debate and a person gets all emotional and heated and then want to resort to calling you personal names or trying to find out who you are or your family, whatever, and then they want to actually act like that they're blameless, you're actually dealing with a person with a narcissistic personality. I mean, you have narcissists as well, and some of them will actually go and try to deflect and make rumors about you, which in hindsight is actually true about them. So go and pay attention to the words of what the foes or your adversaries say, because 9 times out of 10, if they're saying something which is wild, which is not out of your character, and they're always putting an agenda which you're not a part of, 9 times out of 10 they are deflecting. So keep a lookout on that. Third thing, this is for people who are proud of who they are or what their culture are. If you have a person and you're displaying on who your culture is, on what your culture is, and who you are, and then they want to go and tell the narrative that you're not of that culture or you're not of that people group because of you may act too American or you may act too urban or whatever. You may not speak the language of your parents right. So therefore, if these people want to be judging and everything like that, 9 times out of 10, they're not helping their culture. And 9 times out of 10, where they're from, they're not even putting a good cause to their name. Most people who actually criticize, you have to look at their fruits because they could, if they're going to criticize you out of love or they're going to criticize you out of hate. Most people who criticize out of hate, they have no fruits to bear. They do not do anything in the community. And most likely, they like to go and engage in pointless debates online and want to try to tell people how better they are just because of their culture or their education or 9 times out of 10 of their achievements. To me, is this. You could throw all of that out the window if you don't know how to debate. And then you want to go and resort to name calling a person and you want to say that you're this great person. 9 times 10, we're just going to look at you as a child. And that's how I'm seeing it. Number five. Well, number four, actually. Number four. You have certain people that will disregard whatever you say in life. Don't go around and try and prove to these people who they are, who you are. 9 times out of 10, these people are professional liars. They'll go and try to twist your words. Don't hang with them. Number five, positivity is key. Most people who are actually on these spaces are not positive. They just want to actually see a good show. They don't care about you. They don't go to sleep about you. The ones that do, you have to look out for. The ones that want to make false police reports. The ones that want to show up at your house. Or better yet, the ones that love to go and put people's children in harm's way by calling the authorities just over a friendship that they do not like or over an opinion or what a person says. So therefore, they actually go on other social media platforms and talk disrespectful, but yet they do not want to address the person personally. You have to watch out for that. Some of these people do not actually have a problem with you. They just love the attention when they're talking bad about you. Keep that in mind. And number six, one thing that I have to say, I'm a Christian. I'm not going to go around and say I'm the best Christian because I'm not. If you believe in a higher power, like I do, which is Yeshua, Mashiach, or to other people known as Jesus Christ, I pray to him because sometimes, believe it or not, some of these toxic content creators, they actually have malevolent beliefs. They're actually doing certain things which is against the Christian belief. Now, I'm just talking about myself for a Christian, but to anybody who has their own view, their own religious views, well, you have a lot of toxic content creators that might be against your beliefs. That's all I'm saying. With that, with that note, just try to keep a level of positivity because at the end, misery hates positivity, and it's well known. And number seven, my final advice. If you want to have a drama free YouTube channel, just just make a faceless YouTube. Just make stories. I don't see anybody trying to look at a faceless YouTube channel and try to beef with whoever creates it. Because at the end of the day, faceless YouTube videos only give out information that is pertinent to the story. They do not look for beef. They do not start beef. The only thing is for information. Now, if a person wants to have problems with you just because of the information you're saying, 9 times out of 10, you're not really going to have drama because they don't know who you are. So, for all my content creators that want to make a faceless YouTube channel, do that and reap the benefits. So, in that way, if a person wants to try to violate your space or anything, these toxic content creators cannot really attack you if you're a faceless YouTube channel. That's all I'm going to say. Well, and that's my views. So, anybody who's actually listening, I have the link in my description, and you're welcome to come up to the panel. I see that we have 3 people watching. So, I'm just going to lay back and I'm going to let the background music play. I hope you like it. All right, so I'm back. So I see that we got 7 people in the building. Yeah, I'm here. I just had to go and do something. So anybody is welcome to come up to the panel. I'm gonna put the link in the description. Yep, I ain't going nowhere. I'm certainly not gonna go anywhere for these haters. But there's an interesting thing that I'm about to say. Hey Jose, how you doing?
Good evening, Don Armando. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I was just talking about like steps. I just went up and I gave the steps, like my own personal steps on how to deal with the haters and whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I discussed that on my stream regarding, the false narrative
Yes.
because unfortunately we have certain people, particularly here in these YouTube streets, good evening, Irving, um, that love to create false narratives and basically it's the same old BS that that gets discussed again and again and again and again and again.
Like yeah, talking about that, right? Now, a person could go around and come at me, you could say whatever you want. I'm gonna fake this, I'm gonna fake that. I don't care because I already proved who I am, right?
Hmm.
One thing, right? But the next thing is that you're gonna go further. You're gonna go and try to harass people who are actually on my friends list and try to tell them that I'm in a quote unquote LGBT affair and I'm harassing another content creator who I actually blocked. Like, let's put it like this: I'm a married man, right?
Yeah.
How believable is that? Like, you can we're getting to the point now that a man that two guys can't be friends, or a man and a woman can't be friends without anything quote unquote unsanitary is happening. I mean, it's to the point that some of these wild out allegations that they want to try to put on a content creator and everything like that is just wild. Like for example, there was one content creator that was on your own stream who was against me, right?
Yes.
And he was saying like, "Oh, I got proof that you're this, you're that." I was like, "Yeah, y'all went up and I went up and I just said it on your own live stream. I'm that like, yeah, y'all went up and made false profiles about me, so therefore you could think you could embarrass me. Nice try, bozo." I just said it like that. They got angry, right? So therefore, if you're gonna go and go as far as going to sites to try to diss somebody with that narrative, that just actually shows that it could backfire on you because there will be a lot of people in the LGBT um who are part of the LGBT community that's going to call you out on it. First of all, and second of all, if people have a history of harassing married couples, um, calling the authorities on families just because you don't like the person and how they're hanging out or anything like that, and then on top of it, you want to go and try to attack everybody just because you have beef with one person. That actually shows the amount of immaturity that person has. And I don't care. And once a person shows that immaturity, they could brag about how they have their education, how people pay for their education and everything like that, where they live at, your property value, and whatsoever the case may be, right? But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? You can't debate. So therefore, if you can't debate in a civil manner, it feels like you threw out all your education because it won't matter in the debate if you're going to go around and use personal attacks on a person.
Yeah. You know, unfortunately, this is not something. This is something that's old. Okay, you have certain creators, and I'm not going to mention any names. Okay, because
Now we ain't
I'm
gonna play names
no, we're
because
not.
we're not.
No, okay. No, but look. But you have certain creators that love to create these false narratives regarding certain individuals. Okay, certain individuals that we know of.
Yeah,
Okay, and some that we don't know. Okay, and use the same narrative all the time. Okay, regarding how some people are when it comes to with their relationships. Some people regarding who they are or who they claim to be, or what have you. And this is the thing, and this is what I was taught. If you cannot say anything nice about a person, then you don't say anything about the person at all. But this
thank you.
going back and forth, and I mean, it's going to be old, and it's gotten old, and it's gotten so old, it's gotten stale. I mean, um,
I mean, let's. All right, I'm gonna go around and reiterate on that. Right?
yeah,
It's to a point, right? That my wife is, she's a shapely woman. You know what I'm saying? So a certain entity, which I'm not going to name because I'm not going to even make that person famous. They love to go around and have jokes and poke, wait. They want to go around and try to fat shame people and everything like that. So this is my thing.
yeah,
If a person is fat, right, or is big boned or whatever the case may be, right, or you used to be big boned, why do you care if you don't like me anyway or who I'm with? You want to go around and go and throw shade. You want to go around and use all the worst things you could actually try to talk on people, calling me fat in the process, and this, that, and the third. Now, my thing is this, right? We live in 2024, and people are still using childish insults regarding fat people or people who are obese or who are curvy. My thing is this: don't go and throw stones at a house if your house is made out of glass. What I mean by it is, if you know that once upon a time you might have been considered big boned or fat Albert, you should be the least person to go around and insult somebody of their weight. Because 9 times out of 10, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, people were struggling with their weight. So, with that said, don't be throwing stones while you live in a glass house. Because 9 times out of 10, that could actually always be reversed back to you. So, therefore, you could go around and be calling a person fat or anything like that, right? What makes you think like in 5 years, with all that venom and everything like that that you spewing out, you might not have teeth, or but yet You might not be in perfect health just because of all the venom you're spitting towards people that don't know you and possibly don't care about you. That's all I'm saying.
Look, let me tell you something. There's certain creators that just like to go back and forth painting the same old narrative. Okay. Why? You know, I don't know why. Some of it is to try to create subs. Some of it is just to, to paint people in a certain light. Okay. I mean, look, if you can't say anything positive about a person, don't say anything at all. Okay. And one of the beefs people that have hate with me has to do with the people that I choose to hang with. Now I get it. People have beefs with other, and they're free to say whatever they want on their platforms. Okay. My thing is this: don't bring your stupidity on my platform.
Or to my personal. Like
Okay.
like we're not gonna go around and speak on this, Jose. But let's be honest. There was a certain content creator that went up and had us join to a group just because of of their beef with a certain content creator. Now keep this in mind, right? The content creator we're talking about is a single person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's very positive. Me and this person have, even though that me and that person met off of YouTube, but when he actually recognized my voice, because I do, because aside from YouTube, I be in other sites, so I'm not actually you know, going against people. I'm just being like a goof off, you know what I'm saying, on other sites because I'm not taking it seriously and I could actually have amicable debates with people.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, right? We what with that said, me and this content creator, we actually have a friendship
Mm-hmm.
that I could actually say that that person's genuine with me and that person and he's genuine with me. And we have actually talk about stuff when it's actually on the positive line. With that said, right? How is it that the other content creator, the person that they have a beef or non-beef, I don't know what it is and don't really care, right? How is it that a person who's a content creator, right,
Mm-hmm.
is a married person with children of the opposite sex, right? If you're a married woman, right? And this is what I'm saying. Why is it that you want to try to find information on another man when you're a married woman? Now, this is what I'm going to say. If you're going to go around and put your time and energy on finding information on another man and you're a married woman with children, first of all, you're dedicating your energies to the wrong party. Number one. Number two, dedicate your time to your family. That's all I'm saying. And number three, if you want to go and find information just so you could actually try to ruin the reputation of somebody, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to go work in your benefit. And I've seen this time and time again that people get screwed over.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, when you have creators that constantly are so overly concerned regarding a person's status, relationship status, it's like apparently that person has no life. Okay. And it's just that. And let me tell you something. Um, when I did my stream last night, I mean, I would say this: everyone that appeared on the virtual, everyone that appeared on the chat, someone at some point had created a false narrative regarding each individual. And the fact of the matter is this: people are going to paint false narratives for whatever fluffing reason. Okay. Now, all you can do is this, try to reach out and try to see if there's some way that a person the issue could be resolved. If not, then just simply part company and go your separate ways. Okay. But this going back and forth, I mean, over all beefs, it's getting ridiculous. Okay. And it just shows the level of immaturity when you partake in this type of activity.
Yeah. Like, okay. Another thing that I'm about to say, like, because, within our sector, right? You have certain debates that are good and, you could actually see what a person's about and everything. Now, within our sector, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have certain people that you will try to find a solution. I'm just saying as far as helping the people or helping a cause or anything like that, right?
Yes.
But within our people group, Don Jose,
Mm-hmm.
you have certain individuals who are so toxic that let's just say we're gonna put us in an example. Let's say you and I, with our backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
And you and I, we actually trying to create something for the Latino youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something positive, something, community based or something.
Yes.
So you and I, we talk about it. We try to promote it and everything. Now, we'll have a person in that same in our same sector, right? Who have the crab and barrel mentality. So instead of trying to work with us, they will try to break us down. So therefore, we won't have our goal. And their whole goal is just for chaos and 9 times out of 10 inclusionary views or what we would call racism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing that in in our sector. I'm seeing that with my mixed people sector. I've also seen it in the black sector. I've seen it in the Asian sector. 9 times out of 10, I've actually seen it in the financial sector also.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, it's like it's like you if you're gonna go and try to actually have a movement, I say we just have to keep it with like-minded individuals and anybody who is not on code or in certain cases are not talking about positivity or trying to have a positive solutions out of things, you just have to cut them off. And they could go around and blast you on Twitter and everything like that because if you see for 2 years that you have people that they're talking about the same thing on solutions and whatsoever. They're talking about, yeah, we're making money and this is our solution and whatsoever. Okay, you're talking about it. You're talking a good talk, right? What are you doing? Let's be honest. If you're
Yeah.
not actually making schools. If you're not actually having your money to actually repair infrastructure, we're not only talking about the United States, but we're talking about maybe in a foreign country, or you're not actually teaching people on how to get out of debt, or why are we in this place? Why we are actually fighting the landlords, or why is crime is rampant? If hear a conversation and they're talking about the same thing, but yet you see the fruits, which is no solution. They just want to go and they want to go off on people's angers, or a news that happened, and then they want to say their opinions. I see a lot of opinions. I don't see action.
The reason why you don't see action because these people, they don't have solutions. Okay, it is with good reason I refer to these people as the mentally and intellectually challenged because they are mentally and intellectually challenged. They cannot debate you logically. The only way they can debate you is with with emotion and hyperbole. That's all they can do. Okay. And we see this all the time. We see this in our sector. We see this in the biracial community. We see this in multiple communities. Why? Because we have people that they don't have any solutions. They just want to create chaos. Okay. And just look and the fact of the matter is, we have dealt with, I mean, just in our community and our side of the fence as well. People talking about certain delusions and certain concept or whatever, and trying to bring some of that stupidity into our collective.
Yeah, I have seen that too.
Hmm.
Sad to say, but you
Yeah.
want to know, but you want to know which is I'm saying in that aspect of why that I guess is happening and stuff, because a person could actually have the education or anything, but even though that I haven't seen these guys on my channel as much, shout out to Atlan Warrior and shout out to Hebrew Lion. With that said, me and Hebrew Lion, while we was actually on here, it might be on one of my videos. Me and him, we actually had a chat about what a certain content creator has said or have said, and their delusion and their internal problems with, I guess, their community or people of their same pigmentation. With that said, the person went up and said that they actually had a private chat with that person. Like how me and you have chats whenever we're in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Jose.
Hmm.
And that person, it looks like that person has a lot of issues when it concerns race or the type of men that person likes. And it even been exposed that that person's brother has called them out on social media for her preferences with with I guess her own racial preferences, and how this person will actually make a fool of themselves just to get with their racial preferences.
Hmm. It's no coincidence that May is mental awareness month, because because we have a lot of these people that are mentally ill. Okay, and we see that all the time. In fact, I'm going to be holding a stream on Friday
Oh,
regarding
to Earthy, it's not somebody in the mix sector, so it's a person that that me and Jose know, but at the same time, they'll try to produce like a good narrative, but at the same time, they have a lot of internal problems which have been exposed during the time.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, because look, when you see these individuals and they're continuing hopping on the same talking points for months, if not years, there is an obsession.
I mean,
And
yeah, yeah, like there's this guy. I forgot his name. Don't really care because I'm not gonna go and how should I say mention that person because it was funny, right? That I actually had my own that I actually had my own show whatsoever. But it seems that like now there's a new axis and former enemies actually joined forces just because of me. I'm like, Dad, I didn't know I was that powerful. That you had a degenerate that actually that people have called out because of their grooming activities and whatsoever. And you have another racist degenerate that they actually had spat over whatsoever. The same thing that I've had a spat over the other degenerate. These two degenerates actually went up and joined forces just because of me and Zacharias. And then on top of it, the other degenerate that always talking about that his talking points is about a black man's member and how that is or the passport bros and everything like that. My thing is this: if you have people from these racist groups who I actually call the axis of crap, that's why I'm just gonna call them people who are against me, that they want to join forces, they want to go around and have secret conversations all about me, and they want to try to see they want to go around and make plans or try to swap me or whatsoever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, I just call them the axes of crap because the crap that they're dealing with, if they're so threatened with my presence, like I'm doing something bad for them, when the fact is, I just have my own channel. I guess my mere existence is a threat that you have like maybe 24 or 25 individuals within that will have secret discords and telegrams and whatsoever, and they brag about how they dragging my name through the mud whatsoever, but none of them will ever face me because they're so mad that I go against their false narrative. So they'll actually use all the dirty tricks in the world instead of actually standing up and facing the person.
I mean, look, the fact that again, it is insane that that these people go out of their way to paint false narratives, and that was and and we see this all the time. We had one person that actually compared me to Hitler. Why? Simply because I said the following: if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. But somehow this individual made a determination that simply because I said that, that I was to be compared to Hitler. Another person, another individual stated I was an old, lonely, senile white guy. And then we had two individuals that referred to me as being racist, one of them being Zacharias. And I think,
Even though it was not a debate or anything like that, just what I was saying, um, that you would that at least Zachariah said his reasoning of why he said that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it may not be of your liking, but at least you got that there is a reasoning. That's all I got to say.
Well, when asked to produce his evidence, he could not.
Right,
Okay. And not only that, he disrespected me on my platform not once but twice.
right.
Okay. Which led to be only one of
Man,
two individuals been permanently banned from my channel. The other one, we all know who he is, and we're not going to mention it here.
right. I mean, it's funny, right? I have my channel, but and people are actually mad or whatsoever. I mean, they will never actually come to my channel anyway because that's how low they are. But yeah, they'll actually watch in the clouds and comment on my on who I make my posts to or my so-called alliances or whatsoever. And they want to go and comment on Twitter just because they want to get my attention. I'm going to be in the clouds. I'm just going to see what it is, and I'm just going to keep moving. Because at the end of the day, let's see the history of the people who, certain people who like to harass these content creators, what they're done. One of the most harassed content creators is Jesse. You know what Jesse's doing now?
No.
He's actually being a good father. He's actually having his numbers up. And then on top of it, he's just in the same class as you and I, Don Jose. He's a homeowner. So what have y'all done to actually stop that man? Nothing.
Hmm.
Another person, Gigi. Gigi has made content. She does what she does. You have tried people have tried the worst on Gigi just because they get butthurt of the truth that she actually tells you what she's doing.
Yeah.
Her numbers is going up. She got a lot of support. You didn't stop nothing.
Yeah. I mean, look, let me tell you something. When it comes to our friend Gigi, she's been called everything but a child of God and then some. Okay. She had dealt with multiple, excuse me, she dealt with multiple accusations of abuse and false allegations with CPS multiple times. And and people love to paint this narrative regarding that she's a baby mama or whatever. But I can say this: she has demonstrated a lot of maturity um, in the time that I've known her. That's the reality.
Yeah, and that actually goes to show you on what certain people who actually have no attributes or anything are saying.
Yeah.
A person could call, you can be a commentator or whatsoever, right? But if you have a whole history of just being nasty to people, I'll say like in the crux of a 20-year history of just being nasty to people, what kind of commentator are you? I mean, let's be honest, and we're just actually going to dissect this.
Yeah.
Now, you are a municipal employee. Kaisho, I don't know what she does, but
Well, she was a
shout
municipal
out to
employee. Okay. Well, she was a municipal employee. I think she worked in social services, but in the private sector.
right now. With that said, with the grace that Kaisho have shown us through the years, right? And she's in that field. Certain people who are actually on that field and they doing their most to abuse their power on what they think is low class civilians, and they want to dox their informations and everything like that just because they have that power, just because of where they work. Now, in your own dealings with people who are social workers and such, right? Jose Negron, if
Yes.
a person were to do that, do those actions, I'm just saying as far as doxing and everything like that, would they be reprimanded? Would they be still a social worker, or they'll have to go to another place to be a
Well,
social worker? I just want to
okay.
know.
Okay. First of all, let me just state that municipal employees in general, they are all under what's called the code of conduct for each agency. I'm not going to mention the agency I'm with, but each agency has a code of conduct. Okay.
Right.
Now, if a municipal employee violates the code of conduct, depending on the nature of the offense, the person can be reprimanded. Okay. Um, Eventually, the person can be terminated. Also, depending on the nature of the offense, criminal charges can be levied against the municipal employee. So it depends what on the nature of the offense. Okay, and I cannot give more specific than that, um,
All right.
because like I said, um, we have to be very mindful of what we say, which
Right.
is why I'll never mention the name of the agency which I'm employed on social media,
Right.
because you not because you never know. And I've known at least one person that was brought up the personnel, due to the fact that this person actually mentioned um, not only the agency that they are employed, but actually did filming content
Oh
on
yeah. Oh
grounds.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's, I mean, depending on the nature of the offense, a lot of things can happen, and I can't be more specific with that.
Right.
Which is why I'm very careful regarding my conduct, and there's certain things
Exactly.
which I will never permit on my platform. Okay,
Right.
I don't censor people, but I one thing I don't tolerate is disrespect. I don't tolerate people trying to disrupt the stream. I don't tolerate people try to intimidate other people on the panel or on the chat. And if I have to
Yeah.
ban people, it's because basically you shown such disregard, disrespect towards this platform.
Yes.
And
I'm gonna go around and and second that with something, right?
mhm,
All right. All right. Now, on my platform, is very chill, it's very respectful, right?
yes,
So this is my thing, and I see, and sometimes you have to cut the weeds before it grows. All right. So I post on my community tab. It's my right, right?
hmm
So I want to put on talk to a certain content creator, just as like maybe last year. So the person who want to comment or whatsoever, I'm thinking, okay, this person might be reputable or whatsoever.
hmm
It showed, and this person just was once on my platform, and I guess whatever problem that two that Zacharias and that other content creator had,
hmm
I resolved it on my show, and I didn't even have to do anything.
hmm
Now, with that said, months down the line, people they send me their screenshots of what the toxic content creator was saying and what have you, right? And I seen people with agreements. I'm like, oh, so the whole time that you actually gonna go around and talk to me, you're actually in agreement with the toxicity. Okay, well, guess what? I blocked the individual. I'm
uh-huh,
not gonna go around and talk bad about the individual, but I'm just gonna let it be known. You're not welcomed on my platform. And most of the times your content is crap anyways. So you could actually I don't care what a person could actually say on their platform. I'm never gonna mention you. You could actually go and take that to court, but you and try to use my videos as evidence. But where in this conversation, I'm actually going to mention you. You're nothing. So therefore, that's why I don't mention names. Because half these guys are so butthurt, they'll actually try to make a court case out of nothing.
hmm
Or better yet, they'll actually go and send an order of protection against you just for with the false narrative saying that you went to their place. Okay, so if I went to their place, right? Where where is it on my video that I actually went to this place? Number one. Number two, a person going around and posting what they're gonna go do to you on Twitter. That's enough evidence. And three, the people who actually are dumb to actually put that order of protection, they should be fired from their jobs as well
hmm
because it's lack of evidence. So with that said, it's just to the point that these toxic creators are are so are so much cowards that they'll actually try to weaponize law enforcement just so they could get their point across. When the fact is they cannot even go to you man to man or woman to woman or in person to actually say the crap that they actually talking to you about.
hmm yeah.
you want to know what the first threat what was actually funny to me was, and I was like, okay, this person's a goofy. It was like, oh, since that person's right, so since you're friends with somebody and everything like that, you're a degenerate. I'm gonna call the cops on you. Okay, so you're gonna call the cops with the fake narrative that I'm harassing somebody else that I actually blocked because he's full of crap. So therefore, you're gonna go around and spin the narrative that we're actually harassing that person who was like the toxic content creator full of crap, and all y'all are in agreement with us. Yeah, you could go on that side and let me create my content. Nobody got time with immature dwarves. We have to go higher than that.
Hmm. Look, the real, and to be perfectly honest, one of the most recent videos that our friend GD did produced had to do with new people joining, platforms and being mindful that, you know, that there is no such thing as a safe space because you're gonna have haters that would try to discourage others from joining other platforms because they got nothing better to do. I mean, we see this all the time. And these people, just they have nothing better to do but to paint these all narratives regarding certain people. Okay, they're talking about all their baby mamas, they're drunk. All they want to do is create trauma and things of that nature. And the fact of the matter is that you have some people that just don't know when to stop and just continue with their stupidity.
Yep.
Okay, and that is the reality. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. If it was left up to me, anyone who wants to become a YouTube creator will have to undergo a psychological evaluation. And if these and they have the mentality where they need to be placed in a 72-hour involuntary observation period to be placed in a rubber room with a straitjacket, then you have no business to creating a channel.
Yo, I got an idea. I got an idea.
Yeah,
Don Jose,
sure, go
and
ahead.
I'm gonna try. And I'm gonna and the thing is, though, I'm gonna go say this in the back chat. Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. And I was gonna say this like in the back chat because I do know a lot of prominent content creators.
Yes.
So if I do score maybe this year, I might talk to a lot of there's a Dominican writer that I'm actually trying to get on my show,
Hmm.
and there's another content creator I'm trying to get on my show as well. That he's
Hmm.
more of a historian type. I would actually like to collab with him. I'm just gonna ask like, what price do you like? What price do you want me to use your services? Because this person's actually a personal friend of my sister.
Hmm.
So with that said, I might have to go and I might have to try to work on that. So therefore, when I actually make like my podcast studio or whatsoever in my basement, it'll actually look professional, and hopefully I'll have like professional cameras as well.
Hmm.
So when I actually do this interview, I could actually look like it's professionally streamed. Oh, another thing, though, Jose.
Yes.
You gotta go and check this channel by the name of Mr. L Boyd Reacts. It's actually good and informational by this content creator by the name of L Boyd. I mean, he's actually very articulate, he actually talks about, stuff that's actually going on. It might not be it might not be certain people might try to politicize it when the fact is it's not actually political. So he's actually talking about the crises that's actually happening in New York, the crises that's actually happening in other states. He's
Hmm.
actually letting people know of certain things that actually affects us now in the United States. So therefore, I'd like you to actually look at that channel, Mr. Elboyd Reacts, because I've been looking at this guy for at least a month now, right now, and he's actually, a very informed individual that actually live in Malaga, Spain. So check him out.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will do that. But but like I said, like I said before, unfortunately, we have people that had trauma that's never been addressed. So that's how come they act the way they act.
you
And
want to know? You want to know? You want
go
to
ahead.
know? Talking about trauma, right?
Yeah.
Um, one common aspect that I've actually seen with the Hispano touch, right,
Hmm.
is that most of these people that have like a trauma or a deep seated hatred of a certain race or people group
Hmm.
because of what they of because of what it might have of what they of what if it manifested like while they was actually going to middle school or high school or whatsoever, right?
Hmm.
So when certain issues is not addressed, and you have certain people who do not actually take the time to actually address this or whatsoever. It's even to the point that when I was in high school, I had my own people turned against me, my own people group. So when I went to another content creator, which I'm not gonna mention their name because I don't really speak to that person anymore. When I went right there and I was just trying to show love on that person's page because I'm like, okay, your family came from the same place my parents came from.
Hmm.
The amount of litany and accusations that I've been called was very alarming. And I was like, okay, so who is this Corriente, first of all? And why are you calling me him? Oh, this guy in the third was faking to be whatsoever. So before, so I told you who I am, but apparently your deep seated hatred for that person, you want to go around and transfer it to me because I don't fit your narrative. And it's so funny that a lot of these people they want to go around and talk their notions like they know everything. And my very existence just proved that they're ignorant. And I don't even have to say nothing anymore because I've been through this crap.
Hmm. Okay.
So my thing is this.
Yes.
I've seen with some Hispano types that they have like a deep seated hatred just because of the hurt that they suffered. And certain people they need to go around and they need to stop that. The reason why is this. When you have deep seated hatred against certain people groups just because of what you went through, the hatred is actually going to cloud your vision to the point that there's certain individuals that could actually benefit you in life that you could actually learn from. My mom always told me this when I was young, and I'm
Yeah.
always going to remember it. I'm going to impart this to anybody. There's good people in good races. There's bad people in races.
Hmm.
Don't go
and try to go and use race as your crutch or why you don't like a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because 9 times out of 10, and I'm going to impart my own knowledge of this, people groups or gender or orientation or anything like that. One thing I'm going to say to anybody and everybody, the more that you have this hatred and everything like that, 9 times out of 10, when you have children and you still have those views, some way or somehow, the thing or the idea that you hate is gonna actually come back to you in a form that you may not least expect. It might be it might be you might be married to a person, and then that person might be of that thing that you hate, and you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go around and hate that person just because that person's a part of that family. No. So therefore, be careful. Be careful on what you don't like in life, because what you don't like in life will actually manifest to you later on if you have children or when you get older.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, part. That's one thing of wisdom I could actually impart to all my listeners and subscribers and such.
Well, one thing, if I mean, to anyone who's thinking about becoming a YouTube content creator, number one, be true to yourself. Number two, be consistent. And number three, the most important, have thick skin. Because you're gonna have people that are going to drag you, people are going to insult you, people are going to call you anything but a child of God. They're gonna have issues either with you or with the people that you choose to hang with. If you don't have a thick skin, don't be a content creator.
Or better yet, I've actually went and I said earlier, the content creators that have the least drama. Don Jose,
Yes.
are the content creators that we don't know them. And I'm going to explain to you why I say this. I'm talking about the faceless content creators.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that you could actually make a show. You don't have to use your real voice. All you doing is putting out information. So therefore, if you don't show your face and all you're doing is putting out information, a lot of people could actually have beef on what you're saying or what you said, but yet they can't really have beef with you
Yeah.
because since you're faceless, nobody knows who you are unless you're actually a logo or whatsoever. I'll say
Mm-hmm.
this for example. Best example, shout out to the faceless creator, Shiroi Kodo. He
Mm-hmm.
actually he actually does his content on anime or whatsoever, like which one is the most action packed or brutal or whatsoever. The
Mm-hmm.
person might actually talk with their voice or anything like that. But 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna know who that person is unless you're actually gonna go do voice recognition. And I don't see that a lot of people are actually gonna go and use their technology just to see like who that person is. Now, the person who's actually talking is actually based out in the Philippines. So therefore that person could actually be anybody. But yet again, there's no drama because people are not really interested in who you are.
Yeah.
You just go and produce the content, and then people leave you alone.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it depends on what type of content creator you want to be. Also,
Yeah. Well, with that, Mama, I'm gonna drop down. First of all, thank you very much for allowing me on your platform. I did share the stream on my community tab, um, because we do have to support each other because we're both small YouTube creators, and and this is for us, this is the labor of love. So I
thank
just
you.
want to thank you very much, and have a good night, and shout out to everyone in the chat.
Yep,
Take care.
you too, sir. All right. Even though this is off topic, right? We're gonna go talk about rap a little bit. And I don't care about the Drake or Kendrick beef because let's be honest, it's boring. But I want to actually talk in part and something that I've actually seen with my Dominican sister, Ice Spice. I actually call her my Bronx sister. I don't know her personally. I'm just saying that she's a woman from the Bronx. So, and she's younger than me, so I look at her as a little sister. One thing that I've actually seen within her lyrics and everything like that, that, let's be honest, people who are actually pure hip hop aficionados are not actually fans of her lyrics. I see younger men who are actually fans of her just because of what she looks like, not really because of her songs. But it seems that like lately that most of her songs are actually alluding to an excrement fetish. And it's been going on for months that people who are her fans or people who are actually listening to her music are actually alluding to this because she's actually using excrement or references to excrement a lot in in her music. Now, certain people are worried that if she's trying to make an excrement fetish cool or not, because let's be honest, there was like maybe in the 1990s, you had people that they talked about sex and whatsoever, right? But it started actually getting more seedier like around the 2010s, I should say. And you've seen a lot of stuff that may not be detriment to what hip hop was. So now everybody had their vices whatsoever, right? But now I feel that certain people are actually having an excrement fetish when they're actually talking. All right. GG. Yeah, we were just talking about you. How you doing, by the way? So All I've been seeing, and I guess I'm just seeing this on my social media, my Facebook or whatsoever, that Ice Spice is actually alluding to an excrement fetish because lately in her lyrics, she's actually talking about poop. Oh, only positive stuff. We're not the ones that actually talk about negativity or anything like that. That's why you got the wrench. Your system. You could actually look at it from the playback. Ah, yeah. Wow. All right. Well, it looks like that one of my biggest fans had just bust in. My cat. hmm Come here. Come here, Romy. Uh huh. Yeah. Quick question, Don Jose. Is it raining in New York? Okay. Yeah, because it's raining here in Philadelphia, and I guess it's going to rain tomorrow as well. So I'll be prepared. It's funny that sometimes what's considered April showers, we get the brunt of it in May. I do not know why. Yeah, I'm about to actually have some, I guess, new music or new theme music actually coming soon. So stay tuned with that. Yep. Oh, one suggestion or Irby, make a faceless make a faceless YouTube channel. The reason why is, as you know, for the rest of us, me, Gigi, Don Jose, Radical, and everything like that. You know, hey Gigi, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, Don?
I'm all right. I'm just about to wind down before I'll say I'll wind down like around 8:55 and everything like that because work tomorrow and everything. So we
Yeah.
were just talk. So we were just talking about the haters. Kind of the like my view on the talking points that you and Jose was talking about.
Oh, okay.
So I was just talking about that, and I was giving my personal experiences on how to deal with the haters and everything,
Mhm.
and how to actually navigate within these YouTube streets. Now I've talked to I've heard Irby and everything like that, and I can't wait until he actually grows his channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So one thing that I could actually say that if he wants to grow his channel, being a faceless content creator will be the key. What you think, Irby?
What you to respond to that again?
Hey,
I was
Irby.
saying if you
Hey, Gigi, how you doing?
I was saying that that since you're already faceless, right? That if you want to go and do the faceless YouTuber route, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying this is from my research and from what I've seen in these YouTube streets. I don't see anybody trying to beef with the faceless creator.
Yeah, you know what, Don, is that when we first like were doing this and we all started, it was like people it's not that you were required, but like it made you more solidified to show your face, show who you are. You know what I mean? It gave you another like level on YouTube. But now there's so many faceless content creators. It's like, yeah, if you can protect yourself, just protect yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had this conversation before. I think on Jose or Gigi String, we had this conversation before about being faceless. I was like, I agree with it. If when I start, I'm 98% think I'm gonna be anonymous because I already had people try to fake dox me or fake dox me
yeah,
on here.
yeah. And it's funny because it didn't work.
And like I said before, like, now it's like there's so many faceless content creators. So what's the point, I mean, I guess it depends on how far you really want to go with it in different ways. Everybody has a different like direction for their brand. But yeah, if you really aren't like trying to become quote unquote, YouTube famous, you know what I mean? Which is probably the smart way. If you can get the bag and still be low key,
Yeah.
even better.
Exactly.
I'm, like what like if I want to like if I'm just gonna do like our sector content, Gigi, I don't think we really have to really be 100% show your face. Now if you want to do like
Right.
other other sectors, maybe like the celebrity tea, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps more in those type. Well, I mean, before though, it did kind of matter if you showed your face because, like, even if you didn't show your face online, at least somebody behind the scenes would verify, you are really who you say you are. But now, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter as much now. So yeah, this would be the perfect time just to be anonymous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because
with that
before we
said,
was out here banging in these YouTube streets, we weren't really giving respect out like that if you was hiding. You know what I mean? Because it was like we was on the front lines. But now it's so many, it doesn't really matter. And people have seen what the people have went through that people do know who they are, and they're like, "Fuck
Yeah.
that," you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't either at this point.
I see what y'all want.
yeah.
You and Molten, all you're like. There's some people that's still crazy out here.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? I was introduced to the MGM when I was actually on Radicals channels through Hazel, right? So when I actually started to get to know you, Gigi and Irby and the rest of the people, now I didn't know all the stuff that was going on because I was just, basically new, and I was just trying to see who it was. As soon as I went up and made I made like, okay, who these people are, what their agendas are. There was like maybe three people that I had to cut off on my own channel, or certain people I just don't want to be with because they always want to bring certain people that I didn't get along with. So I'm like, okay, I've actually had to distance myself from certain people. But tomorrow I'm about to have a stream, so I'm about to shut this down. Do any of y'all have any last statements to make?
No, I just want to come up and show you some support, some love on your stream. Thank you for having me up. It was good to talk with both of
Anytime,
you guys.
Gigi.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Good night, y'all.
Good.
Good
Peace,
night.
Gigi. I just wanted to come up because
Peace.
I rarely come up on your when you have your stream. I always in the chat.
Right. So, it was nice that you came up, Irby. So you're welcome anytime. That's why you got the
Yeah.
brunch, man.
Yep. All right.
Yep. And it's like, and talking about weather, if you think that Florida weather is bipolar, upper Pennsylvania weather is bipolar.
Oh shit. Florida weather is hell
I'm
bipolar. It'll be raining the next. It'll be raining the next day, and in about like an hour, it'll be sun as hell outside.
yo, I'm gonna tell you when it was like before my birthday, when I went up to upper Pennsylvania to my mother-in-law's crib, right? It was so crazy that it rained, it snowed, it was sunny, then it went up and snowed again.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So tomorrow night we're about to have the martial. Like I'm about to have a segment on the martial arts again. So stay tuned and peace.
All right. Peace, everyone. Good night.
Good night.